Live in full effect. Welcome to the show. The Fly Degenerates NFL Thursday show on the heels of a big night in New York last night where the Mets took out the Philadelphia Phillies in 4 games, and now they await the winner of the Padres and the Dodgers. But more importantly, tonight, the WNBA finals begin, and my New York Liberty will complete the task and win the first championship in New York in, I guess, since NYCFC, right? They were the last ones. I was like 4 years ago, something like that.
And start the ball rolling, because we got a 50% chance, or what it looks like. It looks like we got a 50% chance of maybe doing it on the baseball side if the Liberty could come through. But they get the ball rolling, and as always, the women get us started. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And the 50% chance you're talking Yankees and or Mets?
Yes, I'm assuming.
Gotcha. Well, I don't know, man. The Yankees, they still got work to do. They still got work to do tonight.
Yeah.
Because that was a real slippery game. What?
Said so do the Mets to get to the chip. You got still not there.
Yeah, but the Mets have 2 series to win. The Yankees have 3.
Yeah.
We got 8 games to win. They got 9.
Yeah.
But anyhow, we'll get right into football because there's a lot going on, a lot happening. We of course did our recap show on Monday, so we didn't even get a chance to discuss the the big news of the week, the coaching change taking place with the New York Jets. So I will cede the floor to you, Flex. You can let us know what your first thoughts are on the firing of one coach Robert Saleh, announced on Tuesday late morning.
I was driving. I was driving up to Connecticut with wifey. Like, we were gonna go to Primark, one of your faves. We were on our way up there, and because it was Dan Grassa doing the Greenies time. Yeah, so obviously, like, I'm waiting, and he's talking about the Jets and stuff like that, and all of a sudden, we got some big Jets news, and I'm like, oh shit, hey, niggas pulled the trigger on Devontae Adams, and he goes, the Jets fired Robert Saleh, and I'm like, what the heck? Yo, my girl has no idea, does not have any connection with football, like, or knows the structure and how big that news was, and she was like, what? And like, she was shocked, and I was like, it didn't hit. Like, I was in a weird space, because it was like, yeah, but like, how? You know what I'm saying? Like, it felt like he did something. Like, it just didn't, it like came out of nowhere. It shouldn't have come out of nowhere, because I don't think it was a bad move, but it was just so highly unexpected that it was just like the shock of it. So, I mean, I'm sad that he had to go, but it was, like, you heard, like, I was the day before, you heard me sour, like, my opinion on him, and I pretty much, like, I was one of his biggest supporters, like, holding out hope, because he did get a raw deal, and I still saw some potential in him and stuff. But I started on Monday, I was saying that I was like, that he wasn't, like, I lost pretty much all confidence in him, So it's like if I'm coming from that spot, like how much I wanted him to succeed, and it was like, yo, this dude is not gonna have it, and I know it's like it's a panic move, but yo, it's like we've seen what happens with Salah. Like he goes on these stretches of like bad games. He ends the season losing. You know what I'm saying? It's not like somebody who can you can see turning it around only because like every time the Jets had extra rest, they lose. Every time the Jets came off a bye, they lose. It's like no matter how much time they have more to prepare, it's like, yo, is this dude running a country club over there? Like, why? Every time that they come out off a big layoff, they throw a stinker. So it's like that. How can we expect it to turn it around if we're seeing, like that's one of the things that I was pretty much that raised my eyebrow was when Quincy Williams at his locker after the
I'm
London
glad you
game
brought
was
that
like,
up because I
yo,
wanted to ask you about that.
because
Go ahead.
yeah, because at first I didn't really kind of like it didn't hit
Well,
me, but
first,
I was like,
before
yo,
we even continue, do you know what he's talking about? Word life.
Nah. With the Quincy Williams, nah. Something
so
about
do you want to
yeah,
so do you want
good.
to put up the direct quote? You just want me to paraphrase it?
Well, I actually have the clip, so
Okay.
just talk about it for a second while I pull it up.
So
I have a question, real quick. Do you think when they were talking about all the defensive players, when they were saying holding the people accountable, whatever, I think it was two defensive players that said it. I feel like they weren't talking about
Well, that's what I think that's
defense.
what you're referencing, I assume. I mean, the word
yeah,
hold people accountable has been thrown around a lot by a few people, but
Okay.
he used that very specifically Quincy Williams used that very specifically a couple of times.
Okay.
and it just hit differently when he says it,
Yeah.
only because it doesn't seem like he's not just saying it. He's pointing it for a specific reason. It felt like.
Yeah.
Okay, so
And
I'm curious to know what you believe that specific reason to have been.
well, because also that when
All right,
he
word
just said
life.
it on its own.
I just put the video in the chat. I'm gonna play it on the stream just so that we have it on record, and then
Do you want to just play it first and then I?
yeah, I'll play it right now, and then we can talk about it. Where the fuck is it? I just had it. All right, Quincy Williams. Quincy Williams after this was after the most recent game, right? This was after the London
Yes, after the Vikings game. Yes.
So this
game.
is in London.
So, what happened?
This is in London.
Yeah, yeah. Still.
I assume so. Of course, now I can't. Oh, here it is.
You guys were down 17-0 at one point. You guys battled back to the end. What does it say about this team?
Let me know when it's queued up.
All right, it's playing now.
Then
Right,
at
so
one point, you
explain
guys
for
battled
everybody
back
else.
to the end. What does it say about this team?
I'm gonna be honest, man. People get tired of hearing the same shit every week, bro. So people just gotta start taking accountability from the top to the bottom. That's the main thing, bro. That's all I got to say for real.
All right, let's talk about the fumble recovery. What happened there?
Just lost my ballot, man. I gotta get that one to the end zone, bro. When my number get called, bro. That's it.
What's the mentality of this team right now?
Like I said, people gotta start taking accountability, bro. People get tired of hearing the same thing every week.
For you, what do you need to work on?
I'm tired of saying the same thing every week. For me, I need to start working on being a leader more. That's the main thing.
How do you think?
You guys were down 17-0 at one.
All right, so that was the clip. I don't have the quotes. I thought that it'd be better to just play the clip, but yeah. So he said He said we got to hold people accountable from the top to the bottom. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'll let you say what you
Yeah, just to a certain extent, I was a little bit desensitized to the accountability thing, just because it's been regurgitated many times, like by the coach, by Aaron Rodgers, by pretty much everybody. But then when he added the part that said, uh, I'm getting tired of hearing the same thing over and over again and nothing changes, something to that effect. And I got to start being like a leader myself. It almost felt like that was that Robert Saleh, man, because he's the one who's always out there, at all the, after all the losses, saying pretty much the same thing. And it just felt like, yo, I don't know, man. I think this guy, I think they felt like he was checked out. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just kind of gave that vibe. So I was like, it was a little, like, when I heard that, it kind of like stuck with me a little bit more so than anybody else, only because coming from him, who's, let's say he has been probably the best or second best player on defense so far with DJ Reed. And it kind of hit differently when he said it, because how, like when certain people say things, it has more of an effect than when other people can say certain things. Like, that's when I started feeling like, damn, yo, did they check out on him? And then it caused me to kind of look and listen a little bit more to like the stuff that Robert Saleh was saying, the stuff that I've kind of felt before. Like, I start looking at those speeches that he does in the locker room, where he like kind of changes his voice and takes a deep breath and is kind of like trying to sound like he's confident and sound like he's tough and stuff like that. And I'm just like, it started hitting me different, to where I had to look at it in a different eye. And it just kind of like had me like, damn, like, dude, I don't think this guy's gonna have it. And honestly, like, if I know it's a chaotic, but you can't waste time. And if you think that it's only the messenger that is causing stuff like this to happen, it doesn't matter whatever shot, like a shot in the rear end, or like whatever the phraseology you want to use or whatever, like a shot in the arm. Yeah, but that's not good. But just like, you got to do it. And like, waiting around, especially with this timeline that this team has. It's like, you just have to pull the plug, man. It's not gonna be pretty, but whatever, man. It had to be done. Like me personally, like I wanted it to work, but it just didn't look like it was going to work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I don't necessarily agree with you 100% on when I heard that on Sunday. When I saw that interview and I heard it on Sunday, I did not hear that as being directed at Robert Saleh. I think based off of what you're saying, I think had it been someone else, had it been someone on the offensive side of the ball, I think I would agree. But when I watched that game, I did not see a defense that quit. I didn't see a defense that was checked out. And the sequence of questions in that little snippet, that soundbite, he goes out of his way to say people got to start being held accountable from the top to the bottom. Like, she doesn't ask him anything about accountability. He goes out of his way. He's like, I'm tired of hearing the same things. And then she asks him about not being able to score on the fumble recovery. And he's like, yeah, I got to get that in the end zone. And then he goes back to the accountability again. And given the way that the last two games have played out, and again, given the fact that this was a defensive player, I didn't see a team specifically on the defensive side of the ball that was checked out or that had quit on Saleh. To me, I see a very classic, something we've seen many times in the past, where the defense and the offense are at odds. And to me, that was totally aimed at the offense. From him saying people got to be held accountable, to him also commenting on him not being able to score, to him then after that being asked and him saying, because she asked him, what does he need to do better, and before saying again about holding people accountable, he was like, I need to be a better leader. And to me, just given the way that the last couple of games have played out, and given the very obvious kind of power structure, that was the way that I took it. But go ahead. You want to say something?
No, I kind of see what you're saying, but I think I interpret it as like, not like he was calling out the defense or the defensive side of the ball. It was almost like,
that's not what I'm saying either.
No. I know, but something to that effect. But I'm just saying, like, I think that when he said it, it was almost like when he added that part at the end and went back to the accountability. It was almost like, I don't believe this guy's gonna actually hold other people accountable. You know what I'm saying? Like,
who, Salah?
It was almost, yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's just that I'm just seeing that I just feel like I see this whole thing very differently than everybody else does for whatever reason. I just don't think I feel like a lot of people want to have a very kind of traditional, sensible, logical view of what this situation is, what the power structure is within the Jets. And to me, I don't look at it that way, because it's not an ordinary situation. It's a very unique situation. So ordinarily, yeah, I would agree with you. If there's a player who's talking about whatever changes from the top to the bottom, talking about accountability, etc., my first go-to would be, okay, he's talking about the coach, because ordinarily, traditionally, in most football situations, most franchises, the power structure is that the coach is the kind of general overseer and has the most power out of anybody in the organization. When somebody talks about the top, they're talking about the head coach. For the last few years, it just has not felt like Robert Saleh represents the top of the organization in reality. To me, it has felt like he has just been consistently just walking out there. He's just been like the face in terms of being the figurehead that is the head coach. But nothing about the things that have been done suggests that he has any power in the organization, or suggests that he has had any power for the last few years. So that's why when I hear a player on the defensive side of the ball, and listen, I don't know how the defensive players feel about Robert Saleh, but from everything I understand, the defense and just the players in general, for the most part, up until kind of this year, have rode for him. And when I hear a defensive player like that, like Quincy Williams, who I've never known him to have an issue with Robert Saleh or have an issue with the defensive coaching staff, talking about getting frustrated with the same things over and over again and people not being held accountable when the offense is not producing and the defense is doing their job, I hear that as a player, as a defensive player, and like I said, not an unusual situation that we've seen before where the defense is getting the job done, and he's just like, yo, people need to start being held accountable because, and obviously he didn't say this, but this is how I'm hearing it, that the defense is out there busting their ass. The offense was supposed to be right now, supposed to be getting it done, supposed to be holding up their end of the bargain, and they're not. And I specifically, again, when he was talking about having not been able to get in the end zone scoring and talking about being a better leader, I don't take that as being a better leader than Saleh. I think that just being a better leader in general. And now maybe he doesn't love Saleh, and maybe he doesn't love the entire situation there. But I just find it hard to believe that his or anybody on the defense's main issue at this point in time would be with Robert Saleh over everything that's going on the other side of the ball.
No, I'll just say that my bad. I'm just gonna say this and just to like get everything out. But like I see what you're saying, whatever. But I'm just looking at it. Maybe he was the reason he's saying it is because, like, for example, because also you got to see what this team has been through already with the offense or the quarterback play. Like, that's not what normally that's what I feel like would have been happening, but they've already been through this, right? Like with the quarterback not being able to do anything, like them having to pitch a shutout, do everything perfectly. But it was like it's almost like we were talking about it on Monday, the day before, where we were like, with Alan Lazard and like like they keep talking about the offensive penalties and everything like that, and it's like, yo, so is this guy not going to do anything? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he's talking like that's the person who should be able to like discipline the other players. So it's like to me it was almost like, yo,
to me,
nobody's
even
gonna
if
do
that's
anything.
what he's saying, his issue is still not with Saleh.
But it's with Saleh not
Even if
being able
that's
to do anything.
What?
But it's with Saleh not actually doing anything.
Yeah, I understand that. But again, this is why I feel like we just see things differently, because Saleh's not going to do anything. He was never going to do anything, and neither is Ulbrich. So
I don't know, man.
when it comes to quote unquote holding the offense accountable, that it's just not a usual situation. It's a very unique hierarchy that the Jets have established. Like, listen, no matter what you say about what you think that the coach has the ability to do this and do that, and he's still the coach. When you send the head coach and the general manager out to Malibu to beg this nigga to come play quarterback for you, the power structure is already fucked. You already have neutered even if he doesn't come, you already the coach is already starting from a position of weakness. And I think everybody knows that. I think that that's pretty plain to see. And I think specifically everybody in the Jets locker room has seen that from the beginning. So while I kind of can agree with you that maybe he's frustrated in general and he's like, nobody's being held accountable, at the end of the day, it's not the defense that he wants to be held accountable. It's the offense. It's the offense that's not getting the job done. And he could be mad at Robert Saleh for the offense not getting the job done. He can be mad at Robert Saleh for not holding the offense accountable. But I feel like I would be insulting his intelligence to think that he doesn't know what's going on there. And to think that he doesn't understand that the power structure is off when you have this unique situation where the coach and the general manager and the owner have to go beg the quarterback to come play. When you got the quarterback talking about that the owner of the team called me afterwards to check on me, see if I was all right. There's plenty of people who've gotten hurt on the Jets in the last few weeks. I don't hear anybody else telling tales about how they got a fucking phone call from Woody Johnson to check and see if they're all right. So I think everybody on the Jets understands that the power is with the quarterback. It's not with Saleh, and it has not been with Saleh ever since he got on that private jet to fly out to Malibu. He forfeited his power.
Yeah,
and he forfeited his leverage to be able to hold Rodgers accountable. So
yeah, I mean,
Quincy
that's
Williams
part of
can
the
be frustrated all he wants with Rodgers not being held, with Saleh not holding people accountable. But again, I don't think that his issue is with people not being held accountable on the defense. I think his issue is with people not being held accountable on the offense. And maybe he's not smarter. Maybe I'm giving him too much credit. I think he's smart enough to know that Robert Saleh has his hands tied when it comes to holding anybody on that offense accountable. I think he knows that, but maybe he doesn't know that. So maybe his issue is with Saleh. But if his issue is with Saleh, he's misguided, because Saleh was with his hands tied in terms of trying to hold the offense accountable. I mean, from all the reports that I've been hearing, that Saleh was even thinking about trying to try to adjust something with the offense and trying to take the play calling away from Nate Hackett, and that was what led to him being fired. So who has the
No,
power?
well, it still happened. It still happened.
I agree. I kind of agree with both of you. I agree with you, H, a little bit because that's what I was just gonna ask when we went to that clip. I was gonna ask when the defensive, because I feel like Saul said something about accountability also, right?
I don't
Flex?
know, but I honestly, I'm sorry. I don't want. I'm not gonna go on
Yeah.
a tangent. I just honestly, I think Sauce. I think maybe some of that stuff is pointed at like players like Sauce too, that kind of like are getting a little bit too big, doing a little bit too much, and then having all those
Yeah.
penalties. Granted, the penalties weren't good penalties, but
Yeah.
they were still called. So I don't know, man. I think
Because this
I
is
think
how
it
I
was
took it.
starting to spread.
This is how I took it. Rogers was the first one to sit when they had that little quick Rogers saying, oh, maybe well, he was talking about the snap, and then Rogers was the first one to say accountability. Then when I started hearing players saying accountability, I took that as direct shots to Rogers. Like,
So did I.
oh, you want to use the words accountability? I'll show you I'm gonna use the same words, and I'm
So did I.
talking about the
That's how I
offense.
took it too.
That's exactly. So I agree with you on that. I also agree with Flex with the whole Salah. Maybe everybody felt like Salah was the issue, but ultimately, when they were taking shots, I felt like it's offense versus defense right now. It's like we're over here, they're over there. We're doing what we got to do. They're not doing what they got to do, and there's nobody to fucking hold the offense accountable. That's how I took it.
Well,
You know
that's
what
what
I'm
I'm
saying?
saying. That's exactly
Yeah.
what I'm saying. I'm not saying that. That's why I said I don't know what Quincy Williams' relationship was with Robert
Yeah.
Saleh. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he felt like this motherfucker he's no use to us anyway anymore. He's just standing up there. He's just saying the same shit. He can't hold anybody accountable. What good is he? Maybe that's how he feels too. But at the end of
Maybe,
the
yeah,
day,
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
is the issue is still him with Salah only because of his inability to hold people accountable on the offense. His issue is not with like I don't see what reason he would have to have an issue with Salah, other than this guy.
Not being
What good is he if he can't hold the offense accountable when they're clearly not holding up their end of the bargain when it comes to production here? He can't do anything about it. He can't say anything about it. And he's to me that was just an expression of frustration. Ultimately, Salah's the one that ended up falling on the sword because that's what he was set up to do.
He was there for
And
it.
I don't
He was
feel
there
bad
that,
for
yeah.
him. Like it is what it is. But at the end of the day, I think Quincy Williams and I think everybody in there knows what's really up. And if they maybe they would rather see somebody else that's just gonna kind of handle the room better, or maybe they're gonna handle the interaction with the media better, or maybe somebody who's gonna be a little bit more willing to kind of step on the line or whatever. Because like listen, if you move Salah out, like just again based on the power structure of what the organization, how it's set up right now, I just don't see anybody overstepping Rodgers in terms of having ultimate power and influence. But listen, maybe Ulbrich wasn't on the plane to fly out there and beg this motherfucker. So maybe he's just going to be like, hey, listen, I'm going to do what I'm going to do, and you guys take it how you want to take it. Maybe Quincy knew that. He could kind of see the writing on the wall and was like, we need to have somebody else in here who's not as far gone and as far invested into this situation. Because I'm telling, like, once Salah got on that plane, it was over. Like, there was no more. He immediately forfeited his ability to coach the team like every other NFL coach gets to coach their team.
Mm-hmm.
So you automatically have a kind of wonky power structure, which I think has led to a lot of the problems that have gotten people like Quincy Williams and other people, specifically on the defense, frustrated because the way that the organization is set up right now, with the way that they had to go through to acquire Rodgers, is just set up in a way that there's not a traditional power structure that allows both the offense and the defense to be held accountable equally.
Mm-hmm. So my question is, what now, Flex? Like, what do you see? What do you see happening now with the new interim head coach and everything? What do you see? Like, do you think he's gonna fix the problem? You think, like, what's going on?
I mean, the offensive play caller duty was stripped from Hackett, so Like, I mean, it could be, for all we know, it could be just, eyewash or whatever. But the fact is, like, he pretty much got fired. He pretty much did get fired. Nate Hackett did.
Mhm.
So, so I don't know if that's like, they
That
actually
doesn't
said like
sound good.
well, I
As
mean, what
shitty
do you
as
mean?
May Hackett might be, what you're telling me now is that you lost both your offensive and your defensive coordinator in 1 week.
No, but I
listen,
mean the play caller duties. What I'm saying.
you just said
Like
he
it's
essentially got fired.
well, yeah,
That's
well,
what you just
he's
said.
but he's staying on. I mean, I'm saying like
Who's
because
calling?
You can't
that
have
was the
both. You
big
got to pick one. Is he fired? He's
yeah, but
basically fired, or is he staying on? Well, which one is it?
he's staying on, but he got demoted, so he got fired from his job, but he's still there. You know what I'm
Okay, but
saying?
you're
Like,
correcting my statement of saying that you basically lost your offensive, defensive coordinator in the same week. You did.
well, I
You're
mean,
telling me
but I'm
that.
saying like he didn't call plays in Green Bay either, and he was the offensive coordinator. So it's like it's not like he's not used to doing that. So it's like the play caller duties that was part of the issue that we had, and that was one of the main issues. It's just stagnant. It was predictable, and that was like I said, it might be eyewash, but you know what? If it looks like Ulbrich held somebody on the offensive side accountable for like I said, it could be just
Yeah.
bullshit,
Yeah.
but at least it looks like he did it.
So what's the
You
process
know what I'm
now?
saying?
So Rogers who's calling the plays then?
Todd Downing,
Okay.
and he was a run heavy guy when he was in the Titans. He was a pass heavy guy when he was with the Raiders. So I mean, it can't get worse. It can't get worse because it was just too stagnant. It wasn't going to get better, and I have confidence in the defense staying pretty much the same, man. Because this is a lot of this is Ulbrich, man, and he's a flexible coach. Like I think we remember back. I think it was his first or second year when Quinnen Williams flipped out on defense when he was getting tired, like he didn't want to blitz anymore, like they were blitzing too much or something, and they were getting gashed at those first 8 weeks or whatever. He switched it up a little bit, and they went from like being one of the most blitz heavy teams to playing man and only sending four. You know what I'm saying? So like
Yeah,
he's a
that's fine,
football
but that doesn't. That's not new. Him going from defensive coordinator to head coach doesn't change any of that.
But I mean, if it means that their philosophy is going to shift a little bit, like, I mean, we're talking about a team that like a quarterback that was getting blasted, and he dropped back 91 times in 2 games, man. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
When you're on the goal line, you're giving it to on a rainy day, you're giving it to Brees Hall when you have a sledgehammer. You know what I'm saying? In Braylon Allen, that can just go up the middle. He doesn't lose yards. Like, it's just little things. That's what I'm saying. Like, both of these games that were lost could have been won
Yeah.
for little things. So it's like those little things. It just seemed like Salah wasn't in touch with it because he was like, it was like Salah was more like optimism that stuff was going to get better. He didn't actually change anything. Like with the Zach Wilson stuff, with
like,
everything.
But
He couldn't,
I
though.
just feel like it's a little unfair to say that about Salah because you could say that about him before last year, but again, once Rodgers was here, his ability to change things on the offensive side of the ball was completely altered.
I mean, I understand that, right? But I'm also going back. I'm not only going back to these 2 years. I'm going back to even with Zach Wilson, where he was like, just like the way that he was just like stepping around everything. Like, it was just like the unwavering like fake positivity that it started seeming like. And like I said, they would go on these runs where they would lose 5 games in a row, 4 games in a row. Like, it just seemed like he conveyed something where like they would let the team feel itself over every little thing. Like even like 2 weeks ago when they asked him about about what would you say to Jets fans or whatever. It's like hop on the like
Hop on now,
don't
whatever.
jump hop on the bandwagon because it's gonna be full later. It's like like come on, man. Like focus on like just getting better, man. Stop doing all of these little quotes and shit like that. And it's great. And it's great in the beginning. It's great in the beginning. It's just like everything. Just like in Miami, where like when they're scoring 70 points with Mike McDaniel, he's a genius. And Tariq Hill has 2,000, almost 2,000 yards. Everything's a genius. You lose your quarterback, and none of that shit is cute anymore. You know what I'm saying? When you're losing all of these games, it's like like we know the deal how it is. Everything when stuff is working, when you're winning, everything is fine. You know what I'm saying? Just like with the Mets, if they're doing all this grimace stuff and all of the stuff that's been going on with the OMG, they've been winning, so it's cool. But imagine how ridiculous and how much they would have spun that into like, look at this gimmicky ass team relying on all of this, like not a serious team if they lose. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's all the perception that becomes a reality, or the reality changes the perception of what is real. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and at the end of the day, man, he was not good. Like his record, he got a long leash, man. Like his best coaching job was not was winning 7 games with with Zach Wilson, essentially. You know what I'm saying? So
Listen,
Someone had to
I
go.
didn't. I'm not here. I've been. I told you I was out on Salah a while ago. I'm not here to
no,
defend
no,
Robert Salah, and I'm not here to tell you he was a good coach, because that has not been my sales pitch for a long time. I'm just
no, I
saying.
understand. Like you were on that, but that's why I'm taking it from my perspective, where I thought like I was still held out hope, and even so, it's like once you start seeing like, man, this dude, he's talking about like the quarterback and like the paranoia about like, oh, you like all of this stuff. It's just like, you had your chance. Enough. Like, cut the cord now. I know it's gonna look sloppy, but we got to do something. Something has to be done. And at least we'll see if the bigger problem, if this problem persists, then you have a clear image of of what wasn't the problem. Because now you can say what you want about Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers has more pressure to perform now than he did before, because it was Robert Saleh's fault before. Now it's all Aaron Rodgers, because now it's Saleh's out of here, and now you're getting your shot with no other scapegoat besides yourself. So if he's the one who has to hold people accountable on his offensive side, and you know what I said, like now it's not like the accountability of other people or other people holding other people accountable. It's either you hold yourself accountable, because that guy's out of here, and they already brought somebody who pretty much from the top just held somebody accountable in Nate Hackett by stripping his duty. Because say what you want, but that's still embarrassing. You know what I'm saying? So he still did something. So now the excuses are up. Now it's on you. So it's time for him que se ponga la pila, like we say in our countries.
Yeah, it's just, oh man, it just to me it looks like really bad, and two things could happen, right? Could be really good, it could make them be like, well, fuck it, Salah's not here, let's keep balling, or it could make the defense say, yo, man, this is bullshit, and they might not perform as a unit as well as they were with Salah. They've been with Salah for a minute now, So do they fall? We're gonna know in their play. We're gonna know in their play if they, what I'm saying, which side were they on. But it's like that's how I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it as like this could be like just a pound of flesh, just to be like, what, fuck it. We're showing, let's show the team that we're willing. This is business first, and we need to step it up, and that's our pound of flesh. Or it could backfire, and everybody's just like, yo, man, this is too much of a fucking debacle, and defense stops balling and offense stays separated.
Yeah, but the defense, I feel like the defense would have done that already. They've had multiple opportunities to do that in the last couple of years, man. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
what I'm
Like,
saying. They haven't because, but that's what I'm saying. We're about to find out if they'll start doing that now because of the Salah firing or whatever.
I don't know.
You know what
I
I'm
just,
saying?
I just have more confidence just in Ulbrich just because he's a good coach, and I
Okay.
know, like for example, the 49ers try to, they were trying to hire him during the off season. He stayed. You know what I'm saying? Like he turned them down, and well, I don't know. He's just a good. It just seems like this defense likes him, so I feel like they have a connection to him. He's the guy who they have to deal with every day. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So it's like they promoted their guy to
Mhm.
defense.
Mhm.
What were you?
Yeah, we'll see.
What was the joke I told?
Nah, just this whole, it just makes me laugh, man. Like, it just makes me laugh, man.
It make
Like,
it gets
With the
terrifying.
49ers thing? He's a
no,
highly
the
regarded
like
coach.
all of the like, it's just like to me, it's just I don't know, man. Just for me as somebody who's not like I'm not a Jets fan, so like to me, like the self-soothing is so obvious, but like whatever, it's cool. I get it. It just
I
makes me
mean,
laugh.
I like Jeff Ulbrich. I was actually worried that he was gonna get a head coaching job after
I
this year.
understand. It makes me laugh that all of a sudden, all I'm hearing from Jets fans is how great of an elite, fucking head coach, rising star Ulbrich is, and
You know.
at least if you're gonna make that case, if you're gonna sell me that, sell it to me in a different packaging than the exact same fucking packaging that I when I bought the Robert Saleh coaching package, because it's all I'm hearing so much of the same shit. Oh yeah, he really connects with the players. He's a great motivator, and San Francisco. It's all the same shit. It's the same shit. The same fucking guy. Like, listen, Ulbrich has a great opportunity to be a good coach, and I'm not saying he's not a good. I'm not saying he's not going to be a good head coach. I'm just saying all of this hype machine is just it's a mechanism to self-soothe. It's to talk yourself into believe. Like, it's the same exact shit that with Robert Saleh. Like, for me, it's just like I don't even care. I don't care about what halftime speech he gave at the Senior Bowl. I don't give a shit about any of that. Like, it was all the same hype machine with Robert Saleh, and how'd that fucking turn out? Like, let's just see. He has an opportunity now. He did a good job with the defense. We'll see what happens. But all this other dressing niggas is putting on to try to sell me that Ulbrich he's the one. He's been the one the whole time. Stop it. Like, to me, it's silly. It's a waste of time. Like, we're gonna see what happens. It's gonna play out.
Yeah.
We're gonna see if he can, steer the ship back on track. And if not, he's gonna be fucking out of here just like Saleh was when he came in with the hype machine. That's it. But all this other talking into, Ulbrich and like bigging up Ulbrich, like we get it. Ulbrich he's did his thing, like, but it just makes me laugh. That's all.
I mean, he
It's
asked
all that
me
like
about
hyping up to
Ulbrich.
try to like convince yourself. It makes me laugh. What happened?
He asked me specifically about Ulbrich. What do you want me to say? I mean, I like him as a coach.
I want you to say but we've been knowing you liked him. I didn't say there's anything wrong with it. I just said it makes me laugh because I've been hearing it all week. That's all. I just been seeing it all.
Yeah,
week.
but
I've been seeing. What, nigga? I'm gonna laugh. I want to laugh. I'm gonna laugh. You can't
No,
stop
I
me from
understand,
laughing.
but you're making it seem like I'm doing this now.
I didn't even bring you up specifically at all. I said Jets fans. What I've been hearing this week. This is not about you, bro. I didn't say you. So you don't have to
It's
take
funny
this as a
'cause-
personal attack. I just said it makes me laugh because this is all I've been. It's like been a cycle. I've just been seeing all this. Oh, Ulbrich, he's been, and I'm just like, it's all the same shit. Like,
See,
and
I haven't caught.
like, it just
I
makes me
haven't-
laugh because I just feel like that's what's the fan. That's what you do. You try to talk yourself into the next nigga. Niggas was talking himself into Adam Gase a few years ago.
It's funny because I didn't hear much of that from Jet fans. The only Jet fans I hear is a DNR, and Rick's not really like ecstatic about it. So it's funny because I
Well,
don't
if it
really.
didn't
I didn't-
happen on the DNR, then it didn't happen. So we all know that to be true.
No,
The only things that matter is what happens on DNR. We all know that's
that's
the
why.
case.
That's why I'm curious to how he feels about the because as a fan,
Well,
my
Flex, you're
team.
gonna call into DNR tomorrow, right? So all of these
If my
things, so that they can be, so that we can have
we
them
could be
in
on,
pen
yeah.
and not in pencil.
Yo, but real talk though, it's like I don't see. I like me as a fan, like I would be panicked. Like I'm not panicked, but I'll be like, yo, this is not healthy. Like whatever's happening in the Jets, it's not healthy. It's time to put a
No, you say that, but you're not a Jet
worry
fan.
hats on. I understand that. I understand, but that's what I'm
And
saying.
you're a
Outside
different type
looking
of
in.
fan anyway, though. You're a different type of fan.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
Like,
That's
I
what
feel
I'm
like
saying.
the
Me.
fans that I know, the typical fans, they do. That's what they do. They like, don't matter how bad it gets, you're gonna. That's what being a fan
Yeah,
is all
but-
about. It's about
but
talking
that-
yourself into the hope, no matter how shitty and stinky the turd is.
Yeah, yeah, but I don't know, man. It's just like I always feel that way, like about like certain fans, like Nick, like some of my friends are like that, and they're like I'm like, yo, hold on, bro, like you're not called. There's no cause of worry right now. Like there's nothing. It's calm down, man.
It's
Everything will
not
be
that.
fine.
It's just that the worry was already there.
When after the loss, after both
No.
losses, it's everything's fine.
I mean, what else? I mean, we could flip it on
No,
me, but I mean,
it
you
was
fired
better than everything's fine. It was I'm happy.
I'm talking
This is
about-
what I'm happy about the loss. that's better than everything is
Well,
fine.
see, no, but see,
Yo, I heard
but
that
see,
shit all the
you-
time.
But you see, this was actually good that they lost this game
hearing
because
this, right?
they fired Robert Saleh. There you go.
You're hearing this.
So it
They
is.
wouldn't
So
have
it
fired.
is.
They
So
wouldn't
it
have fired
is.
him.
It is almost
They
like
wouldn't
a
have fired
mechanism.
him.
It is almost
They
like
wouldn't have fired him if they won those 2 games.
Yeah, and if
I
they
don't
would
gotta
have
say
won,
anything else. You hearing it right there. You hearing it right there. I don't gotta say anything else.
I mean, Cheeks fired Dable after what 1 and 2 or 2.
He
what
fired
was it, 1 and-
Shane after Hard Knocks.
There you go.
Motherfucker didn't even make it to season 2 or
Yo,
season 3.
it's so funny how one win makes everything okay. Like
Yo, man, yeah, but listen,
the
this
previous
you know
week-
what's so crazy to me? You
Yeah.
know what's so crazy to me? Like we're firing a coach in 2 and 5, and I swear to God, the Giants fans are going crazy. And it's like I had to be like, wait, hold on, they're 2 and 5 is 2 and 3, and I'm like, oh, they're 2 and 3 too, and it's like, yo, you get two totally different
worlds
things
because
two
of
different
expectations.
worlds for the same record.
Yeah, but it's 2 different expectations. It's
Yeah, I mean,
fuck
I know it's
Like,
almost
it's-
like it's almost like the Mets and it's the
Exactly.
Mets and the Yankees. You
exactly.
know what I'm saying? Like
Exactly. It's exactly like that. But my thing is, and just to jump on that shuttle to the other
Seven
Giants,
train?
the other football team, the other New York team. It's like how
New Jersey
us-
Transit.
how fan base go from Shane's questionable, man. I don't know. I'm not feeling him now. I'm like, yo, I've been on that train. And then one fucking game win, they're like, well, what do you got to say about Shane now? What the fuck? Like, how can one game, you're still not winning more than 5 games? So where's this praise? Yo, and then another thing is the same shit with Braylon Allen, and I'm sorry for saying this, man. I had high hopes on Braylon Allen. I don't want to hear his name right now, bro. It's the same shit with the Giants and this Tracy Jr. I was big. I was here and I told you, I said I like that Tracy Jr. pick. He gave you one performance and y'all niggas is ready to fucking demote Devin Singletary. Please, man, calm
You
the
went
fuck
from motor
down.
to demoter? Damn, that's fucked.
No, I couldn't. I can't believe
Demoted.
it, right? That's a good one. You need to put that shit,
Devin, yeah,
put that shit on
Devin
the fucking,
demoted.
you need to put that shit on the Times, New York Times, shit, back page. But yo, I'm so tired of that shit, man. When did this happen? When did this
Well,
sports
because
shit hold on, let
Hold
me
on a
finish the
second,
statement.
but
When
I
did
don't.
this-
But I don't
yeah.
understand though, because you're saying that you like Tyrone Tracy, right? So you don't think
Yeah.
you don't want to see him get more carries. You not you want Singletary to be the lead back 100%.
I think he needs to be the lead back, but I think, sneak him in, but all this, he's 50-50 now, just like Braylon Allen. He got
No, we ain't saying 50-50. 70-30.
No, I've been
Yeah,
hearing. Some
well, I'm not
crazy
just saying
Braylon
you.
Allen takes.
I'm not just saying you, but I heard motherfuckers on the radio saying he's the best back we got. I still hear that shit.
I've heard a lot of people say that. Yeah.
He's the best back
Really?
we got.
I mean, okay,
Calm the fuck down, man. Like that's the same shit with Tracy.
I don't know,
Tracy.
because I know I'm painted as a homer, but every time I see like any account that says wild shit like that,
Yeah.
automatically blocked. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear any other of your takes.
Yeah.
So I think the reason like I don't see that stuff is because I don't read any of that stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Think
Like
you see it you just don't see it the same way. That's my whole point is that you just don't you don't see it the
no,
same way.
but I'm saying that type of stuff I don't see.
Okay, but
for a reason.
But you don't see it because there's nuance, right? So if he reads a post, or if not even him specifically, a non-Jets fan reads a post where somebody puts out a whole paragraph talking about how Braylon Allen not getting the ball more is the reason why they're losing games, whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't, depending on how that paragraph might be worded, I don't know that you would necessarily object to it. Whereas somebody who's not a Jets fan could read that and be like, yo, y'all that far out on Breece Allen or on Breece Hall that you think that Braylon Allen carries is the problem? That's the difference between winning and losing?
Damn. Imagine you just sparked. Imagine Breece Hall in Braylon Allen's body.
Stop.
And we had Breece Allen. Ooh.
Breece Allen. But I get what you say, because I get what you're saying. Because I mean, Flex, that's one of your takes too, though. You just said it a little while ago. Was like we would have got Braylon Allen the ball in the end zone.
No,
at
the 1 yard line.
Yeah. I mean,
that's what he's.
But in Minnesota, they did the fucking.
Then they overcorrected. That's what I said that.
But he didn't get.
to Bobby on Monday.
Oh, he didn't get the first.
No, what I'm saying is that they do one thing, screw up, and then they're reactionary. They try to overcorrect it, and by then everybody already knows what you're doing. That was my exact. That might be verbatim what I said on Monday. That
So
it's
you
like
feel-
it's so predictable.
So if you don't do that with Braylon Allen, you put Breece in there, and then you dump it off, then we're gonna be here today saying that we should have gave Breece Allen. Breece Allen. Niggas got
we created a running back.
Niggas got me fucked up.
No, but see, I'm saying my point was that beforehand. You know what I'm saying? It was just like my point is more of the predictability of everything that happens on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
It wasn't that it wasn't that that you should have not Monday morning quarterback. It was like, yo, they gave Breece Hall, like on that game in Denver, they give Breece Hall the ball two times in a row with the same run. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if you're gonna do that, switch it up, man. It's like, and that's what my other point was. It's almost like this dude. All he wants to do is care about people's feelings. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just some of the that was some of the shit that was just annoying me.
Yeah. I just don't see how anything is gonna change with the fire in the Salah. Because to me, when I'm watching the Jets, I'm saying, why are they not on the same page? Why is none of the receivers on the same page? Fucking their best, the only receiver that's on the same page drops a lot. It's like, yeah, you got what's his name, Wilson going, but it took, you had to force feed him the ball. You don't want to become a force feeding team, bro. You like Rodgers. The fact of Rodgers is that he's one of those quarterbacks that makes all your receivers solid. You know what I mean? Even in Green Bay, all his no names would be solid. It's like you don't want him to start force feeding Wilson, and the problem is the offense and these things in the offense, the O-line not blocking, no run game. How is that? You're basically your pound of flesh is like, yo, I hope this works. And it sucks for Salah, but I guess I understand.
But
somebody had to die. You know what I mean?
Just to the point of Aaron Rodgers spreading the ball around. Aaron Rodgers has a very long history of force feeding his favorite receiver. I mean, him being Mr. Spread the Ball, he's not Peyton Manning. Like, he has a long history of having a very clear number one who gets double at least the targets of everybody else. Like that's the way he plays.
Yeah, but
Yeah, 'cause even
I mean, I'm not disagreeing with your bigger
Even-
point, what you're saying about just how it's going to affect the offense and how how things look. I'm just saying, Rodgers has a long history of
yeah, because even
having that force feeding type of running that type of offense.
even that Patriots touchdown with Garrett Wilson, I knew that that's exactly what he was going to do. Like he force fed that, and him throwing the ball that hard is what didn't get that pick six. Like because like Garrett Wilson made it down there, and he was like, like almost like, all right, I got you. I know you want the touchdown, and it was like it was telegraphed from fucking the space station. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they almost got it. So it's like kind of backs up what Bobby said.
Yeah, the only reason I say that the whole thing, yeah, he always had a number one that he fed, but I always feel like watching the Packers, there was always like Valdez Scantling. That once he left Green Bay, he was a nothing. There was always
when he see that I don't know what it is with you with Valdez Scantling. I feel like you have this weird memory of Valdez Scantling, like he was some big time player in
not
Green
big
Bay.
time, but he came up big.
He left Green Bay and he did exactly what he did when he was in Green Bay. He ran down the field and dropped passes. That's what he did when he was in Green Bay.
Yeah, he did have a lot of drops. Yeah.
I just think that he was at Green Bay for so long that you remember so many different
plays,
wide receivers being good that it kind of skews that, because it's like, remember Jordy Nelson, remember Greg Jennings, and it's like, like they were all different times. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. You're probably
but
right.
that's kind of what the generational evolution of that was. Like when he first started, it was Driver and Jennings, and then like you nailed it. That was exactly what it was.
Yeah.
It was Driver and Jennings.
It's
and then
so
it was
long.
But at the
Jennings
end,
and
but at the end of the day, but it's like so many names that you're like, oh shit, he spread the, he had this many receivers. Like,
No,
you know
yeah,
what I'm saying? But each
everybody
one
good,
was
yeah.
separate.
Yeah. No, you're probably right. All right. Where we at, man?
So where are you with the Giants? I mean, I don't think that there's too much to really get into as far as the Giants, but big win, nice win.
Yeah, huge win, man. It was great to watch. I was wondering, how this offense was going to look without Neighbors, just because I felt Daniel Jones is so reliant on him. But it felt good to see this side of Jones, because I feel like this is where Jones is his best. It's like not really having to do something. It's like, fuck it, be patient, take off if you have to, shit like that. But yeah, it was a good. The defense was amazing. I know that O-line was depleted, but Dexter looked. My God, yeah, I watched the 22 and I watched the regular. Bro, that kid was he's such a beast, man. He got 6 sacks. He got 6 sacks already.
That's
from
crazy.
From the interior, bro. He's a fucking beast.
Who was the one that told you the Giants were going to have the best D-line in the league this year?
You did. You got that.
And I didn't even call into DNR with that take.
Well, that's why you had to remind him.
Maybe I'll make
but you know what's crazy? Seeing him in that commercial, the chunky Campbell's Chunky Soup or whatever. His body is so perfect for a nose tackle, D tackle, because he's so thick, tight, like pause. But like, it's like he has these big ass like he's built like if Tyreek Hill was fat. You know what I'm saying? Like he still has like a diesel type body, but he's mad big and round.
Yeah,
it's like he's a bowling ball, yo. It's crazy.
He's a beast, man. He's beast. And Shane Bowen, man, he played a good game, man. But we're gonna see, man. It's only 2 games, 2 W's so far. It would have been nice, like the Jets were almost similar to the Jets. We should be better than what we are right now, But had we scored 1 touchdown against the Cowboys and been able to kick extra points, we would have beat Washington and Dallas. But the truth of the matter is, man,
right now you're doing a lot of what you accuse the Jets fans of doing.
What's that?
This rosy picture of
Nah,
how you
'cause-
find a way to wiggle
Nah,
the
I'm
Jets
not. I'm not
wiggle
though.
the Giants to being 4-1 somehow.
Nah, I'm not though. I'm not. I'm not. I'm saying that. Yeah, you can sit here and say that, and you can paint it like that. But what I was getting at was, at the end of the day, the reality is
Yeah, because you got
we're not
no,
a
you
good
got
team.
nuance. You got nuance when you're looking at it from your point
Nah,
of view.
y'all saying that, but y'all didn't even let me finish my statement. My statement was gonna be, yeah, you can say that, but the reality is we're not really a good team, and it showed even when we should have won that game by 2 touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? We should have beat Seattle by a lot more. We controlled the ball for a lot more, and it was still a close game. You know what I'm saying? It took us to do a miracle field goal block for us to win that game. So my statement was gonna be like, yeah, I've heard all those talks, but the reality is we're still not a good team. Daniel Jones is still not a top tier quarterback as much as we want to pretend, all these things. So, I'm still here where I am and enjoying the surprise wins, but you know, kind of waiting for it to go south at any moment during any any moment of the game. But it was a good win, and I'm happy for him. And Dable, it looks like he's, I was on here saying, you know, he's gonna get those guys to play for him. He always does it, at some point in the season where he gets the guys to play for him. But at the end of the day, bro, we're not a good team, man. I'm here for all
No,
the
not a
wins
good
and all
team.
the
Great
upsets.
team.
I'm here for all the upsets, though. I'm cheering them on.
Well, with that being said, we got 2 primetime games for the New York teams next week. Are we ready to give picks?
Yes, sir.
Word Life, you taking tonight's game?
Nah. Did it
No?
start already? Nah.
No, you got time.
No.
All right. So Word Life with the best week, the best performance last week. A little bit of a streak here, a little bit of a roll. First place, 15 and a half total points. I mean, we all had a pretty crappy week, though, so it wasn't really, you didn't really have to do too much. As a group, 2 of 9, bad showing. That's a bad deal.
Oh, that's bad.
That's a bad deal. But you snuck out because you got the 2-point pick and you got the touchdown prop with your boy Mo Alley Cox. So you will lead off the picks today.
Nice. I didn't expect that. All right,
The
cool.
flex gets to lead off the money line parlay.
Nice. All right, man. So with my 1-point pick, I'm taking my talents to the mile high. Denver, home dogs 2.5, unless the line changed. You guys can check while I say my numbers because I'm always off. Chargers, LA Chargers going to Denver. Denver getting 2.5. I know the Chargers just had a bye, so this is not a popular pick. But Denver's
Broncos are getting
defense
3. The line has moved
3
to
now.
3. Yep.
Oh, nice. And I just did this earlier today. So that just moved recently. So Denver +3. I like that more. I think that defense is real. I know the Chargers want to run the ball. I still don't trust the receivers. I know Quincy Johnson showed up once or twice in 2 years. So, but I don't believe in that receiving core. Thank you, because I feel like I was yelling. Yeah, I think it's gonna be a duel of the coaches, and I think Denver's defense is the real deal. So Denver +3 at home, I like that a lot. I like that more than the 2.5. So that's my 1-point pick. With my 2-point pick, sorry, I'm stealing this from both of you guys. I'm going with the home dogs again. The Jets getting 2.5 against the Buffalo Bills. Like I said earlier in the pod, I don't know what what this firing is gonna do, but I'm gonna lean that it's gonna help the team defensively. It's gonna put a little battery on them. It's gonna make them want to show out more. And I think the Bills are just, man. I know it's a desperate game for both of them. They both want it. I just trust the Jets at home more than I trust the Bills away right now. Allen is putting too much on his legs. He's putting too much on his shoulders. He doesn't have the receivers, in my opinion. He does. They found some identity with the run game, and they want to run the ball. And the Jets know this, just like every other team that came here and that wanted to run on the Jets, and they got, some of them got success, or most of them got success on them. This point in time, though, I'm banking the Jets do what they got to do, stop that run, allow Allen to throw the ball, and that secondary comes through. Give me the Jets 2.5. With my 3-point pick. Sometimes, I think we all have done this. Flex, you've done this. H, I know you've done this. I've done it my whole life. We're always a week ahead. And the past week, we're like, yo, we take that team, and we're like, yeah, and then they don't do good. But you're like, damn. And then the next week comes, and you're like, oh shit, I was a week.
Please tell me this is going where I think it's going.
I was a whole week ahead. So with my 3-point pick, I don't know if you know where I'm going. I'm not going Homer. I'm going Indianapolis Colts getting 3.
That's exactly where I thought you were going.
You saw what I predicted at the second half, the fourth quarter of that game, right? Everybody saw it. Exactly what I thought was going to happen.
Everybody saw it? No, I didn't see it because I was not watching Colts Jags. Because I care about my mental health. So no, I didn't see it.
Look at this. Just look at the stats. Look at Ali Pierce and
I feel like I'll go blind if I pull up those stats.
Flacco, but yeah, man, I think Flacco just got his feet wet. He's gonna go in there and pass the ball around.
Yeah, what, in cement?
Hey, he might have more success on cement than grass with his old dad.
Wait, but what do you mean? Is Richardson starting?
Oh, I sure hope not.
I thought this was what you did. This was the same thing you did last week.
Yeah, but Richardson didn't play.
Yeah, but he was iffy, questionable going into the game.
That's true.
I thought he was starting this week. I thought he was coming back, but I guess not. I don't know.
No, you might be right. You might be right. So then I would have to change my whole analysis. But yeah, give me. I'll take the Colts. Hopefully the fucking Flacco plays, but he probably won't. But yeah, man, I just fucked up my whole shit, man.
Well, I'm trying to give you an opportunity in case.
Is that
well,
what
I mean, maybe we can go back to.
No, if he it's too late. I already said it. Fuck. Give me the Colts. Give me the Colts to beat the Tennessee. It's gonna be a shit.
I'm seeing that he practiced fully today.
Oh, did he, Richardson?
Colts quarterback Anthony Richardson, quote, feeling good, practices fully for the first time.
Man, I was hoping they were going to pull it.
Upgraded 4 hours ago. Anthony Richardson upgraded to full participant in Thursday's practice.
I mean, Cheeks, I don't understand why this would change anything. Joe Flacco's going to be playing by halftime again.
That is a great point.
That's the best point.
You almost made me switch it, but I'm not going to switch it because it already came out of my mouth. The only thing I'm trying to switch up is my analysis of why I think the Colts was going to win, what basically was because Flacco was playing. But it's a 1 point game type of game anyway. Neither one of those guys are really good. They both have Tennessee probably got a better defense, but you know. I don't know. Give me the Colts to keep it close, keep it within that 3. I don't feel too bad about it, regardless. Hopefully, everything does pan out. Flacco does play, and they win by 13. But if not, it's fine. I'll take it.
All right. So taking 2 teams going up against other teams that had an extra week to prepare. Just want to make sure that's what we're doing, right?
That's what it looks like. Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Just wanted to make sure. All right. So Broncos, Jets, and Colts.
Yep.
Well done. All right, so for my 1-point pick, I'm going to have to take the stinkiest, ugliest, filthiest dog of the week.
Oof.
We all know where that is. When you want to go to a stinky, filthy dog pound, where do you go? You go to
Literally,
Cleveland.
I'm about to say literally dog, underdog. Go ahead.
Well, I said dog pound.
No, he meant
That
Cleveland.
was the hint right there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm going to take Cleveland. No analysis. I just like 9.5 points against a Philly team that I don't think is really 9.5 points better than anybody.
That's crazy.
Another team coming off of a bye, it's just too big of a number. And given the way that obviously this has to come back to the regress to the means at some point, but I forget what the exact statistic is, but so far this year, I think dogs of 3, or I think of 6 or more are like, I think they're 11-8 straight up, 11-8 money line, and I think they're like 16-2 against the spread, or so some crazy stat.
Damn.
So the big dogs have all not only covered thus far this season, but more often than not actually won outright. And I just feel like every week we come into these things, we look at the big dog, or at least I look at the big dogs. I'm kind of interested in them, and if I can talk myself into it, I do, and if I can't, then I don't. But I think if I don't see anything that I love, I'm just, until that trend starts to shift, if I see a big number like that, 9.5, I'm just going to take it. 1-point pick. I really have no analysis. I have no faith in Deshaun Watson. I don't even want to root for Deshaun Watson. But I just feel like Philly's got all kinds of problems. It's a messy situation going on there. And I think they should win the game. But, you know, who knows? Maybe Deshaun Watson, maybe this is the week he gets benched. You know, we don't know what the hell's going to happen with Cleveland. But 9.5 points is just too much right now, given all the volatility in the NFL. So that's what we're going to go with. First pick, Cleveland Browns plus 9.5 in Philadelphia. 2-point pick. I'm going to take, I'm going against your team, Word Life. I'm going against your team. Well, one of your few teams. I'm going to take Tampa Bay going into New Orleans. I was going to send y'all this meme on Monday night as I watched New Orleans completely fumble away my 3-point pick, and I just was the regret was just, I mean, it was washing over me. Like, when it's summertime and you come out of the cold AC and you step out, it's like the middle of the day, the sun is mad bright, and that warmth just covers your body. You can feel it.
Yeah.
That's the disgrace. That's how the disgrace felt, just going through my body as I watched myself have to watch that stupid Saints pick that I made. I was so ashamed. So, I mean, I don't even, we're talking about Rattler. Rattler is getting 3 points. 3 points for Rattler. Rattler? Nah.
He's going to give away more than that by himself.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Like, listen, who knows? Maybe they turn it around and I look like a nincompoop, but I'm not crazy about Tampa. But a coach like Todd Bowles, who, you know, his kind of his forte is, you know, defensive exotic blitzes, that kind of thing. I just feel like it's not a good spot for a novice quarterback to go into, even though he's going to be at home. They're coming off of a short week because they only had Monday to, you know, they had their game on Monday. Tampa Bay coming off of an extended rest because they played last Thursday. So that's a little double whammy in terms of extra preparation time. And who knows, maybe that preparation time goes to complete waste because they were probably preparing for Carr. But
no, I was going to say with the hurricane.
Oh, them not having extra time?
Maybe that's why the number. Yeah, maybe that's why the line isn't where I think it should be, because I think we're on the same page on this one.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. To me, I just feel like the line didn't really move when Carr was announced out. I guess maybe they felt like he was going to be out since he couldn't get out of the last game. Maybe they just assumed. I hadn't been following the line since before Monday, but I don't know. Maybe they already knew, but I just feel like 3 points is not enough. So, again, not crazy about Tampa. I just feel like this is a terrible, terrible spot for the Saints. So give me Tampa, 2-point pick. And my 3-point pick, I'm going to Dallas. And I'm taking Detroit. I think Detroit, another team coming off of extra rest, having just had a bye week. Dallas coming off of less rest, having just not only played Sunday night, but played an especially late, delayed Sunday night game. So, played a late, delayed Sunday night game that didn't end until fucking damn near 2 o'clock in the morning. Coming out of Pittsburgh, where you get all banged up. They're still missing a lot of pieces on defense. Detroit coming off of extra rest, and I think that Detroit is going to be very locked in for this game because if you remember last year, this was a game that ended in great controversy because so-and-so, this guy didn't report, and that's why the touchdown came off the board, and, Dan Campbell and the whole thing. So I think that they have this. I think this is a spot where I could expect the Lions to be locked in, motivated, want to kind of avenge that sloppy loss that they lost that game that was marred in all that controversy because of the lineman not reporting as eligible receiver. I wouldn't be surprised if they make an effort to throw that guy a touchdown pass in this game. And at the end of the day, I just think that the Lions are a better team. I think they should be able to score on that Dallas defense indoors. And I think Dallas's offense is all right, but I just don't think that they'll be able to keep up. They have no running game. I just feel like it's a Lions spot, and to give only three, I think that's a touchdown game. So give me the Lions for my 3-point pick.
Nice. I like that a lot.
And last but not least, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Mr. Flex, Mr. City Connect.
This is Connect, nigga.
Looking for a big bounce back week. Tough, very, very tough.
Yeah, I got to
beats,
bounce
tough
back,
beats
but
last week.
Yeah, the only thing I had a winning week if you would have done the money line parlay. Would have won you way more than what you would have won if my picks were right. But these are the one that count. That's that. That's totally separate.
That was impressive.
You know what I'm saying? So this is so I got to get back. This is the one for bragging rights. So this is the one that matters. But I did have to rearrange a little bit because I was on the same page with one pick, one of your picks each. So I wanted to move them around. But I'm agreeing with your Bucks pick, Bobby. I'm using that as I'm taking them for my 1 point.
Either?
No, because I know who Rattler is just from his college days. He's a guy who was Patrick Mahomes 1 year, then was a bum the next year, then was somewhere else, then popped up somewhere. I had no idea where he was going. During the combine, he made a little bit of noise, but he's still he's undersized. He's very sporadic. He could very well, he looked great in college in spurts as well. So he could win the game, or he can, or you can be comfortably winning this bet by halftime. Because the Bucks could be up 27 points, 28 points. So I'm gonna bank on the latter, just based on the former, just based on the confidence that I have in the defensive coach that Todd Bowles is. I mean, like you said, he does all the blitzes and stuff like that. And, the offenses that Spencer Rattler came from, one was in the Big 12 when he was at Oklahoma, not facing great defenses along the way. I know he was at South Carolina last year, I believe. But like I said, he's just not a quarterback that anybody should be placing money on. You're way better off placing money against. And if you lose, everybody loses, but the decision to go against Spencer Rattler is the right one, no matter what the outcome is. So for that, I'm going to go with my 1 point pick. Plus, I mean, the Broncos. This is a division game. They're always tight, and even if it was Derek Carr, I feel like that probably what the spread should have been anyway. And without Derek Carr, granted he hasn't been playing great, but it's still a hell of a lot more of stability on the offensive side than what Spencer Rattler is going to deal with, especially like we mentioned with this defense. So give me the Buccaneers for my 1 point pick. For my 2 point pick, I'm going to take a little cue from my man Cheeks Word Life with his Denver Broncos pick at home. 3 points. Not much analysis, just because you already mentioned it, but also Denver versus Chargers, Harbaugh versus Sean Payton. This is a game that's going to be a 2-point, 3-point game. It doesn't matter where you play it. It doesn't matter who's on your team. It's going to be a game that's probably going to end up 14 to 10, 17 to 14, 16 to 14, 18. It's going to be in that range. Nobody's breaking 20 because both of these teams play a style of football and want to play a style of football that is conducive to the result being a 3-point game. And if I'm getting those 3 points at home, I mean, it's pretty much a no-brainer in my opinion. So I'm taking the Denver Broncos as my 2-point pick. For my 3-point pick, I'm going back to a well that hasn't served me well, but I might not have been a week early. I may have been a couple weeks early. But I'm going to go with the Chicago Bears as my 3-point pick. Ooh. With Caleb Williams starting to get it into gear a little bit. He's starting to feed DJ Moore. Because clearly he was getting frustrated. That wasn't the case. As we saw, I think DJ Moore had 2 touchdowns. The defense still doing its thing. And every little bit, like with DeAndre Swift is starting to get it going a little bit. Roshan Johnson, he's looking like he might start getting a little bit more of those carries. And he looked decent. I mean,
He does.
Yeah, I mean, the offense seems like it's starting to get clicking a little bit. And against a team like the Jacksonville Jaguars, I mean, we saw what they looked like. I know they got off the schneid and won their first game, but it was not a desperation win. It was a win that they just happened. They just happened to win that game. It wasn't because they played with the desperation to get that win. And Trevor Lawrence is not looking good, man. And Trevor Lawrence against this defense in Chicago, like the Bears at home.
Yo.
Who knows what the
London.
Huh?
London.
Oh,
London
okay.
Game.
Yeah,
That's
no
why I'm
wonder
listening
it was
to you
on
make
top.
this pick. I hate this pick, but I don't know if you had it. I mean, it's a whole different pick.
That's true. I
if you're
forgot
talking
about
a
that.
London game.
Yeah, shit. I didn't realize that it was at 9:30.
That's the Jags home.
Yeah,
That's
it is
the
a
thing.
Jaguars.
Jags home. You
Those
got
games
a
are
rookie
funky.
Quarterback and I mean, listen, make the pick if you want, but I will at least tell you it's a London game. It's not a Chicago.
I still like the pick.
I hate it. But
I still,
I don't want to give points. That's a road game for the Bears. I mean, it's much more of you're talking about a coach who has not coached a ton of international games. I want nothing to do with the Bears. I mean, listen, you don't got to like the Jags, but don't give me rookie quarterback and basically rookie coach when it comes to going to London when these motherfuckers are at home in London like that. The Bears have been alright,
I
but
don't
they
know.
haven't been that much better than everybody like that. At least not to me. But
Yeah, but it like you're saying, it looks like they're clicking. They're starting to click at least. But I
They're
feel what
starting
you're
to
saying.
yeah,
But-
against the Panthers,
yeah, but-
against your Panthers that you took last week,
You're right.
Yeah, that word.
That
God
does.
damn
against
it.
your Panthers. at
That
home.
throws everything. Yeah, that throws everything. That throws everything in a whirlwind. Only because I have no confidence in Eberflus
That's my thing. I like
getting
I can't,
getting this
I-
team
yeah.
ready to play.
In
They
London,
probably don't. I don't think that they've played in London.
Rookie quarterbacks have not covered a international game spread ever. Just so you know,
Really?
it's never happened.
Yeah,
I mean,
and-
small sample size. I think they've only done
and just the-
5. But when I was going
Yeah,
through all
this
these
is not
games
a-
and doing the analysis, that was a game I looked at, and I was leaning Jags. But for the reasons you're giving in support of the Bears, I didn't take the game. I was saving it, spoiler alert, for the Moneyline Parlay draft. But I was thinking Bears, but I couldn't get involved with that.
So you know what? I had an extra pick here, and I'm gonna go. It's risky, but when you feel bad about a pick, I felt good about a lot of picks, and they've gone down the drain. Give me the New York Giants
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a great pick.
getting 3.5 against the Cincinnati Bengals. I had that start here. I had that here listed here only because it just feels like everybody keeps waiting for the Joe Burrow. You know, he's going to put the team on his back. Granted, they probably should have won that game last week. You know, the kicker missed it. And if that's the case, if the kicker, because ever since his rookie year with McPherson, when they were crowning him like the greatest kicker of all time,
Yeah.
ever since then, he's been a little bit shaky, man. He's missed a lot of kicks in big spots. It doesn't seem like this, you know, like against this defense, that we saw how they performed last. You know, obviously we saw how they performed at home. The way they're feeling about them, the way the team kind of feels like they're starting to believe in itself a little bit. We talked about Dexter Lawrence. It looks like Brian Burns is kind of, you know, starting to pick it up a little bit. Even Thibodeau was, you know, he did a little. He got how many sacks did he have against Seattle? I know I caught at least one and maybe one and a half.
Yeah, maybe like in total like 1.5 or 2.
I mean, they shut down DK Metcalf for the most part last week, and this defense has been the Cincinnati Bengals defense, man, has been not good, and I know they you know they have a lot of injuries on that side, but the only thing, you know, even with Malik Neighbors, it doesn't look like he's going to play. But it just, like, I have, like, the way that they played last week, if they can kind of imitate that to a certain extent and kind of play the game close to the vest and use the 2 running backs, I think they have a chance to get it close. And it's 3.5 points. You know, if it's 3, maybe I'm a little bit more hesitant. But like I said, man, this team is 1-4, and they haven't looked great. I know it was a shootout against the Ravens, but the Ravens' defense isn't that great. And yeah, Jamar Chase, you know, he went off, but I just think they're gonna find a way to kind of keep this game a little bit closer and a little bit more of a low scoring affair. So give me the Giants 3-point pick, getting 3.5 at home, primetime game. I don't know, man. I feel like every time, you know, like who was DeVito last time they played primetime when they played primetime last year, and DeVito, that was the game that they won, right?
Which one?
Yeah,
They won a primetime game with DeVito.
at the end of the year, right?
I forget who they were playing.
Well, the Packers.
Eagles.
That was the last game of the season. Did they? I don't remember.
I think it might. I think it was the Packers.
I know that they lost the that primetime game against the Bills. That I think it was a Monday night game, but that was Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Mike, a couple years ago, Mike White, Joe Burrow came into MetLife against Mike White, and they took home the L. So somehow a little bit different, man.
So moneyline parlay draft. Who you got? You're starting it off, sparking it off.
Money line parlay draft. I'm going with the Green Bay Packers.
Packers. All right. As I mentioned before, I'm going to take the Jags.
Yeah, like that. Give me. Damn, that's too much of it. Damn, you said Green Bay already. My fault. Give me Houston.
The Houston Texans, big favorites in New England.
Yeah, I shouldn't. Whatever. Sorry. Big
You
number.
got one more.
Oh, back to back. Okay. Fuck. Sorry, give me a second. Let me go with. Oh, they're all big. Give me the Jets.
Jets.
Fuck.
I'm taking the Broncos. I wanted the Jets. Damn.
Give me the Raiders.
Ooh,
Nice.
I like it though. Daring, but I like it.
You know who start? Is that? Did you take that because it's Aiden O'Connell?
Well, did they get named officially?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why it wasn't a competition to begin with anyway. I feel like Aiden O'Connell showed enough last year to at least start at the pole position, but it felt like Gardner Minshew, that experience always ends up the same way. So, I have to do another one, right? I'll go back to back.
Yeah, you got two.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Give me the Tennessee Titans.
Titans.
Ooh.
Wow. All right, he's going Titans. I was thinking about going Colts. Nah, you know what? Let's go with. You know what? Let's go with let's spice it up. I'm gonna take Carolina.
Oh.
I almost picked that.
That makes me feel good about it because you fucking crushed it last week with long dogs too, big dogs. Me and Word Life both hit money line parlays, but you now hold the pole position as far as the biggest money line parlay. So I think you were I think it was at
So
plus,
that's who wins at the
933.
end, right? For that one, right?
Say again.
That's who wins at the end, right? Whoever's made the most money.
If I win it, then yeah. If not, we got to figure something else out. Yeah, no, you hit the 933. That was big time. 933. The best before that was Word Life. The week before had the 718. Now I felt real good about my 552. Yeah, motherfuckers had to dwarf me. Terrible. I was like, yo, I hit my 552. I was feeling myself, and this nigga Flex said down there. Fuck out of here.
Hey, so I got Houston.
Johnny G.
The big swings. The big swings had the Cardinals, the Broncos, and the fucking the commies. Word Life, would you like to make a last pick or?
Who would have?
Yeah.
Did you make
Who
a
would have
pick?
thought?
No, I'm going to go with. Shit, I'm like debating whether I should take that or not. But you know what, man? I'm gonna do it anyway, man. I'm gonna go with.
Which one are you debating? Giants?
It was Giants or Washington, but I think I'm gonna go with Washington, man. I think I'm gonna go with Washington.
That's spicy.
That
A
is
little
spicy. That is
You think they're
spicy.
gonna win the division?
Shit is looking that way.
Listen, you know what they say when you get the commies and the Ravens together, you throw out the record books. All right, so we have it. It's lined up. It's lined up. Word Life Moneyline Parlay. I'm gonna add it up for you right now. Excuse me. What the fuck is wrong with my voice? You got Jets. You got Houston. Where is Houston? You got Houston at minus 290, and you got the commies at plus 250. Up. Well, even if you hit, it still will not get you the crown because it is plus 907. That's a nice pull, though. That would be a nice pull if it hits. Not good enough for the crown, but it's a nice pull if it hits. Flex has the Packers, the Raiders, and the Titans. Packers, Raiders, Titans comes in at plus 471.
Can't get greedy.
And then I am taking Broncos, Panthers. If just the Broncos and Panthers hit, I'm at 929. Oh no, wait. No, I fucked that up. Nah, that was wrong. I hadn't taken the Panthers off. Broncos, Panthers, and Jags plus 1397.
Yeah.
Hubba.
So we shall see.
Panthers.
That's a long shot, but you know that's why we're here. To trying to, because I remember I had mentioned to you on Monday, I was like, I'm gonna start trying to play this strategy a little bit different. Because I was so upset that I was so annoyed that I wanted the 3 points when I took Cincinnati last week, because that game went exactly how I saw it going, and I was just hoping that Cincinnati could finish it out and get the win in the end because they were desperate. But I needed that fucking 3 points, man. I needed that 3 points because I knew you watched that game and you knew that this is either gonna land on 3 or it's gonna be three and above. I knew with all the scoring that was going that 2.5 was useless. I was like, I wish I would have not taken it with the spread and just taken it with the money line. Yeah. But that's why I was like, this week I'm going into it different. So I was very strategic. I wanted to save the small dogs for the money line as opposed to the taking them on the spread, because that fucking 2 point, that 2.5 did me no good last week, and I'm still upset about it. But even the 5.5 didn't do me any good. Because fucking the Saints are trash.
Yeah.
All right, box. Close it
Real
out.
quick, I'm just gonna give my Vegas ain't slick pick.
Oh, that's right. I forgot to even ask you about that. I apologize.
I'm just gonna put it down. Not much analysis. Only I think it should be closer based on how Green Bay looked last week and how Arizona looked last week. I feel like it should be a tighter spread. It being a -5, give me the Packers at home as my Vegas ain't slick pick.
Yeah, I got Green Bay winning that too.
So if the Packers win by 5,
I get that. I'm just trying to. So I think I'm starting to understand what the Vegas ain't slick pick is. I think I finally am getting it. So you're taking the kind of the way that you're seeing it. You're kind of deliberately taking the opposite.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Got it. Now, because that was what confused me the last time, because you made this whole case and then picked the opposite, and I was like, wait, I don't get it.
Yeah, I know.
Now I get it.
I started confusing myself, but it's because it's deliberately trying to convince me the
now
other
it makes
way.
total sense. Now I finally. It took me a minute. I'm not the brightest, but it took me a minute. But now I get it. Now I got you. You're operating at a slightly higher level and wavelength than me. You gotta give me time. All right. Here we go. Shake it up a little bit. All right. Pick number 1 for the box. A team that is on a bye, so that does not count. Miami Dolphins. They're on a bye, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Baltimore Ravens.
Fuck.
Both the Ravens. Nevermore.
But you only took the commies money line, right? You didn't.
Yeah.
Oh. Congratulations, Flex. New York Giants. And number 3, Irish rugby. No. I feel that shit's jingling around in here. Oh, wow. This is quite a day for you, Flex. Quite a day, my friend.
Ooh.
Quite a day. 3-point pick, New York Jets. Is that the first time that the box revealed the Jets as a 3? Definitely as a 3. I mean, I feel like
I feel like they haven't.
The box has even picked the Jets.
Yeah. I don't think so.
But if it has, definitely not for a 3. I mean, I have it all locked in here. I can go through the archives, but I don't recall ever as a 3, especially not in a big time game like that. So
Nah.
I really wanted the Jets as the money line, but you stole it from me. So either way, it'll be a good week if the box is right. It'll be a good week for everybody. That means we'll have Giants, we'll have Jets, and we'll have, what was the first one? I already forgot.
I mean, the New York is back, baby.
The Dolphins.
It's been a long winter, bro. And finally, the Knicks started, the Knicks started getting let's say the Liberty actually.
Yeah.
They also had a hand in this. But the wheels started turning last year, you know what I'm saying? And the Rangers getting close. You know what I'm saying? All we need is the football teams to get their shit together.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Liberty are up 8 at half, so that's good. My
So the
first
Bucks picked the
quarter
Giants?
over hit, which is beautiful. What up?
The Giants, the Bucks picked the Giants, the Jets, and what else?
Well, that's what I was just asking y'all. I forgot.
Because we picked Miami, and then he threw the.
Baltimore.
Baltimore.
Oh.
There you go. Good call. Yep. Ravens,
Oh yeah, because I was
Giants, Jets.
So that's
All right.
that's good for you, Cheeks, because the other two, you know what I'm saying, the Jets and
Yeah.
Giants, that's the 2 and the 3, and then you get your points. He got to lose one.
Yeah, you're right. We'll see, man. Good week.
All right. Well, with that being said, do we have anything else? Any Mets takes? Any? I'm trying to think if there's anything else that has happened that needs to be needs reflection.
Well, I mean,
reflection.
so many Mets things have happened in the last couple of days.
Yeah, I mean, is Francisco Lindor the greatest baseball player of all time?
Oh
I
my
think
God!
so,
Some people are saying that.
It feels that way.
Sure.
And
I'll say it.
And you know what's crazy, that even if the other thing, and the same people that were calling him overpaid and all of that stuff, they're so in love with him because he hit a home run and had the audacity to not celebrate. Like, dog, get out of here. Like, we don't need you to like throw us a little treat because you expect Hispanics baseball players to act a certain way. Like, yo, get the fuck out of here, bro.
Word.
Like,
Niggas is happy.
you already,
Niggas in salsa
yeah,
all the way around.
yeah, exactly. Like, they can't they can't criticize him for stinking anymore and being overpaid. They can't criticize him for daring to be flamboyant. They'll find something eventually.
Nah, but tell me that wasn't the fucking greatest way to go around those bases, bro. It's just like,
Nah, it's
oh
funny
my-
because I was gonna tweet that
It's
shit
more
out.
annoying.
you
It's
really
more
think
annoying.
so?
That
I
shit was
love
so
it.
cold, yo. That shit was so
I
cold.
love it.
That
I love
fucking
it.
Yeah.
that trot, like that shit was just a random
Chill.
fucking day-night doubleheader in the middle of
It's-
June, like nothing.
Mhm.
Yeah, like
That shit
like this
was
nigga might
ice
as well
cold.
should have had like done handshakes. Like after he
Like
crosses
brief-
home,
like
like instead of high fives and shit, like just
Beast
do
Mode.
regular handshakes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So
Grab a
fire,
briefcase
man.
and get back on the field. Like, yo, come on, man, that's
What's
cold
going on with the
blooded.
Yankees?
All this
Where are
whole
they
team.
right now? What's the score of
I
that?
don't know.
Joe?
Oh shit. Yeah, let me see. Cause no, that's the shit with this. With the prime game, you can't even freaking
Listen,
can't,
don't make me put the Mad Dog rant on because he'll tell you all about. You can't even search back to the other channels.
I mean, that has to be because, like, for example, like last year,
Yankees up
my
1-0.
with the YouTube TV, I was like, yo, eventually they're gonna have to let you pick what games you want to watch in the 4 boxes. But it's like, you know what? They're probably not gonna give that all to us at the same time. So they're already giving us 4 boxes. They're gonna give us the ones that they want us to watch. I was like, okay, this year they allow you to pick certain games and put them together. Next year they'll give you something else because they can't give it all at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same thing. It's like they give you little nuggets.
Yeah, well, I don't think that the one thing I don't think they're ever going to be able to give is letting you go from Prime Video to, jumping between platforms. So
No, but I was gonna say maybe if they decide to do like a Prime channel, that might be coming down. It might be beneficial to
like
almost like HBO.
Yeah.
I mean, they gotta keep doing something. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, like adding that option, and then they start putting little things on there. They start putting shows, movies that they want other people to get hooked on. But you still gotta be, you get a 30-day trial, but you still gotta be a subscriber, and you just input your information just like all the other apps and stuff like that. So who knows? But keep an eye out.
Yeah, what they should
heard
do
it
at
first,
least,
folks.
what they could at least do is come up with some kind of partnership where they could give you like a picture-in-picture box or something. Like if they don't do that, make a Prime like an over-the-air channel. Like they could add have an add-on where when you're on Prime, you can maybe like a widget. You know what I'm saying? Like one of these joints where you could put like a little box where you
probably
can
the more
see the game,
expensive
see a
TVs.
different game or at least see the score.
Almost like a dual processor or some shit.
Something, I don't know. That's above my pay grade. I don't. I'm not. I'm not a tech guy like that. I just feel like they could fucking they could fucking have Pop-Tarts on the moon. They could fucking let me watch the Yankees and the fucking Prime
Yeah, I
game at the
know.
same time.
Yeah, my nigga, this is.
That's funny.
I'm trying to think. There was a cliche type of thing that they're like. You could put. Damn, I don't know why it's not coming to me. Anyhow, I guess that's it, right? When does the NLCS start?
Friday.
Nice. You
No,
going?
Sunday,
You
Sunday.
You going to City Field or what?
No, next Friday is the game at City Field. Because they have
So you
2
going?
in where. No,
No.
who knows what those tickets are gonna look like?
Yeah.
I might go to the
one of
Liberty game on Sunday.
Oh, nice.
I gotta see how much the tickets are, but I might go. I was thinking about going tonight, but 2 reasons: A, I don't want to miss this, and B, I'm hoping that since it's Sunday, if there's a lot of people who are just into the football, I might get a cheaper ticket, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. I gotta go see my ladies close this shit out, man. No, not like last year, fucking getting beat by the Aces.
Damn. Yup.
All right. Well, with that being said, there you have it. Until next week.
Salud. Yo, Cheeks.